Good morning. Again, what did we learn today? TV in the background is not good. YouTube doesn't like, or MLB TV doesn't like it. MLB, they got me. All right, so I talked for probably 20 minutes. Talked for about 20 minutes. So is anybody here? Let's see. You know what? As we wait for people, let's get this scrolling. Saturday, July 22nd. There we go. Boom! Welcome back. TV is off. Don't want to get in trouble. Flawed Thinker is here. Victor is here. So basically, for people that wanted me to talk about cleaning cards, is it cool? If you were with me, you caught about an hour of me actually talking. Now we'll just talk about the actual topic at hand. How about that? Let's see. Flawed Thinker. And we're back. Victor, what's up? Brian, good morning. Cooter's in the house. Welcome back. Thank you. Stuke says, back like we never left. You actually got hit twice. First one lasted a bit, then you came back. Interesting. I didn't even know. I didn't realize I was off until I was talking about, I don't even know what I was talking about. I looked up and I saw in the corner there were 0 people watching. And I'm like, well, what happened? And I'm like, I wonder if I'm on. I wonder if I got cut off. And I thought it was my internet. And then I scrolled to the bottom. It's like, uh-oh, the TV did him in. I'm like, oh, yeah, they got me. I bet it was MLB. Because MLB is like super, like they can freaking find that shit really fast. So Brian says, all right, didn't miss this part as I posted about it on the Hobby Evolution Facebook page. So Brian, was it you that, I've got some messages. Victor just texted me a photo. This video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on blank deceptive practices and scams. Scams? That wasn't. What? It's because I had the TV on in the background. Bastards. Okay. So yeah, it was so the topic at hand was posted in the Facebook group Hobby Evolution. How in the hell do I find it? Let's see. Rascal 30 says the reason said it was due to spam, scam, and deception. The deception part did mention something about third-party video, but weird. Yeah, it must have been because I had TV. Flawed Thinker says YouTube's AI is on point to notice the television with no sound. Yeah, how about that? How about that? There's like 4 threads on Hobby Evolution Facebook about this morning's Hobby Evolution. Let's see. I was in the process of sending you a note about putting up a screensaver right as you were cut off. Yeah. So I guess we'll do that moving forward. I like Brian's thought, like the thumbnail. I think I'll do that. The actual thumbnail. If I can figure out how to get it to my TV. Joe Caprino says it stated this video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on spam, deceptive practices, and scams. Well, cleaning cards in some people's eyes could be seen as a deceptive practice. I don't think cleaning cards, there is caveats, as I had talked about in the previous video that was taken down by YouTube. I think it's okay. I think it's okay to clean cards, but like I said, there are caveats. I'm still trying to find the post. It was in the Hobby Evolution Facebook. It was about a week ago, I think. Let's see. Brian says it was me restoring cards with my breath. Okay. Okay. Are you Brian in the, let's Brian Wolf. That'll make it easier. If I can find it there that way. Todd says, was able to see it on Twitter when you said 0 watchers. Oh, so it must have been delayed. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Now, posts I've seen. I don't like Facebook filters or Facebook search filters. There it is. Okay. All right. So I found it. Rascal 30, it did take down my video. So is cleaning cards cool? And I say yes. I say cleaning cards is cool. However, what is the definition of cleaning cards? So this topic came up because Brian in the Hobby Evolution Facebook page said, used Kurt's card care kit to fix this ding on the upper left. The ding was 3/4 the way through, so the back was still good. Very weird. Used the straw to add humidity in the corner tool. Excited with the possibilities. Do y'all think this is okay to do or not? So I don't know exactly what you did. So I can, in this instance, I don't know if I would say, Brian, that's cool, or Brian, that's not cool. So I don't know. I don't know what the straw and corner tool does. So let's read. Joe Olivo said, is it staying in your collection, never to be sold? If so, sure, it's okay. Otherwise, this is frowned upon by many in the hobby. Just my opinion. Tony says, just my opinion, but not something I would do as a seller, in a card I wouldn't want to purchase as a buyer, especially if not disclosed. To me, this is altering a card, and that's where I kind of want to go with this conversation. Just as someone would take a black Sharpie to a 1971 Topps card to color in the black borders. Again, just my 2 cents. I'm sure some wouldn't care about it, though. So I kind of agree with Tony's comment here, but I don't. So I don't see it as altering the card. But I do see taking a black Sharpie, that's, in my opinion, that's altering a card. And I think altering cards is wrong. I don't think you can alter cards. But I also want to talk about altering cards. Bruce says, no difference in fixing a car that was involved in a fender bender. I see nothing wrong with what he does. Tony replies, problem is repairs are disclosed when car sales are honest and not hiding anything. Remember, show me the Carfax. Yeah, and I think that is kind of a different, I think that's not really comparable. Andy says, stuff like this has been happening forever, but now the masses are able to do it. I'm not sure it's right, wrong. As a seller, you can disclose it, but the next buyer isn't necessarily going to. I'm guessing we all unwittingly own altered cards. I would agree with that. Let's see. Final comment, Brian, who's the original poster, says, what kind of disclosure would you use? If I felt I needed to disclose what I did, it would be, quote, it was a PSA 7, but then I breathed on the card and used my magic touch, and now it's a PSA 10. Bam, enjoy the card. Pretty sure it's in the same class as removing wax or stains. Didn't add color or cardstock. Didn't take anything away from the card as in trimming. I have a 1985 Topps Warren Moon that someone colored black, and I would put that in the description. I appreciate the discussion, so I will post pics of future endeavors here for more feedback. So I think it's a great topic, because I feel like some of us think it's okay, some of us think it's not okay. And there are, what is cleaning a card, what is altering a card, what is right, wrong, and that can vary by each particular person. Flawed Thinker says, is wiping cards with a microfiber bad? Not sure the next guy wants my oily fingerprints on the 10-cent card I just sold him for $1.50 shipped. That right there is exactly what I think is, that's cleaning a card, and I think that is okay. In my opinion, guess what? Your oily fingerprint altered the card. So why is cleaning, why do some people think that's bad when your oily fingerprint on the card is an alteration from the original? If you think that's altering, you're just altering it back to its original form, right? I don't have any any cards that I wanted. If you crease a card, you just altered the card. How come we don't have that conversation? I just creased this card because I want a PSA 1. Should you disclose that? I creased this card on purpose. I mean, you altered the card from its original form. You dinged a corner. That's altering. Let's see. I know that's reaching, but it's the truth. Turkey cards. I like to polish up 91 Fleer with Lemon Pledge. Red Light says, what happened? I got a strike. I had my TV on. Got taken down. Scratch and Sniff 91 Fleer. It should be Lemon Scent. Yes. Stuke says, people use the cleaning kits to remove light creases, not just small dings. How is that looked at? Again, a crease is an alt. When a card is creased, it's altered. That's an alt from its original form. So by removing it, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a strong opinion either way on removing light creases, because a crease in itself is an alteration of the original card. Max says, if something is taken away, trimmed, or introduced to the card, special gloss, etc., some call this alteration. I don't think that's okay. I agree 100%. Trimming, bad. Flattening a card, putting it under extreme pressure to trim, bad. Taking a Sharpie to a 71 Topps border or 85 Topps football border, not okay. When you start introducing chemicals to alter a card or clean a card, I don't think that's okay. So I agree with Max 100% on that comment. Brian says, watch Kurt's card care videos. He does magic with nothing but humidity, and lightly rubbing or dabbing the problem spots makes the card better. So I honestly, I haven't seen, I've heard of it. I haven't used it. I've never watched it. But I think if that's the case, if you're not trimming, altering, I think it's okay. I think it's okay to clean cards. Because usually what you're cleaning is an alteration of the original card anyway. Let's see. Card Hobbyist says it boils down to whether the work is considered value added. It's murky when it comes to collectibles, in which value is determined by the quality of the manufacturing, packing, shipping processes. Here's my thoughts on, would I buy a cleaned or altered card? Yes, absolutely. I have trimmed Cubs tobacco cards in my collection, and some of them are in slabs that say altered, trimmed. I don't care. Why? Because I can get it for cheaper. And I'm a quantity plus quality guy. I will buy trimmed cards. If I have a trimmed tobacco card and I buy it unknowingly that it was trimmed, and it comes back trimmed, I'm not going to be upset. And why am I not going to be upset? Because I bought it raw. And that's the chance I'm risking and willing to take. Because generally, if I see, and usually I'm using pre-war tobacco cards because that's typically what I'm buying that is probably going to be altered. You know, I'm not worried about buying a 2022 Bowman Chrome Auto and it's been cleaned, altered, trimmed, whatever. I'm not concerned about that. But with tobacco cards, if I buy it raw, there's a reason it's probably still raw, especially in the year 2023. I bought some pre-war cards from Pre-War Collector on Twitter, and there were a couple. I think I haven't got the bill yet, but I think I got a couple from last night's sale, and I'm pretty sure they're raw, and I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be slabbed, even authentic by SGC, because there's too much paper loss, and they're just beat to shit. But I was able to get them for like $25 a piece. That's, you know, I'll probably sub them. I'll attempt to sub them to SGC. Just if they don't come back, they don't come back. well, I want them to come back. If they don't come back slabbed, I've had submissions to SGC not. Well, I've had one submission not come back. So that's usually when I'm buying something raw, especially when it's pretty beat up, there's probably a reason it's not in a slab. So, but I can also get it for cheap. Brian says he seems like a nice guy also. LOL. Well, I wouldn't base any business decisions or is it right or wrong on he seems like a nice guy. So did Ted Bundy. Well, he seemed like a nice guy. Kid says, when I think cleaning a card, I'm thinking pre-war where some people actually wash them. To me, that's messed up. Fingerprints, smudges on modern cards, whatever. Maybe because I'm not collecting modern. And so this is kind of a good point. Now, I didn't even dive into that part, what Ken is alluding to about like some people will take like soak. And this is apparently pretty common, I think, among cleaning pre-war. They'll like soak, because a lot of tobacco cards were glued into scrapbooks. And so to take that glue off, they like soak them in water or something. And it kind of gets that glue out or stain. I don't know what it does. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Because my thought was, well, the glue, you just altered, some kid 100 years ago altered that card by gluing it into a scrapbook. And now you're just unaltering it, right? You're trying to restore it to its original. And that's okay in most. How come the hobby is so much different? Because there's other collectibles where it's cool to clean and alter things to restore them. But in baseball cards, it's considered unethical. And we're not talking trimming because that's just wrong. We should all know that. Trimming is bad. Black Sharpies on black border cards, wrong, not good. So it is an interesting discussion, and I think we all have different thoughts on it, different opinions on it. Max says, if you want to lift a corner or if you can get a crease out, more power to you. Cooter says, receiving any foreign material that was not part of the printing process is okay. Gum, wax, dirt, or oil. Adding any product, including water, to improve gloss, surface, or edges is alteration. I think I agree with that. I don't know adding like foreign substances. Like is water a foreign substance? I guess to a piece of cardboard. I guess it is. Let's see. And there's my answer from the card hobbyist. Water is a chemical in a scientific sense. Kid says, besides, I'd rather spend time rubbing my wife than rubbing a picture of a dude. Oh, comment of the day. I'll drink to that. When using a straw to add humidity to a card, does the meth residue count as a chemical? Let's see. Cooter says, bought some 61 Post cereal cards. I think they are trimmed, right? I bet they are. Stuke says, I cut up a 1984 Nestle sheet, which is considered trimming. Sent the Mattingly to SGC. Grade came back as a 9 hand cut, which is fine with me. I think that they say what the state of the card is. Ken says, soaking also pulls out dirt and things. They'll end up much more white looking than before. Bargain Boxer is back. Yes, we turned the TV off. We don't want to get banned from YouTube. Stuke says, Blue Jacket 66 has a video on a Joe Jackson Cracker Jack card that was ripped in half and restored. Very interesting video. That is interesting. Brian says, cards are an altered tree. Tree did have water in it before. There you go. Now we're really digging deep. So that's my thought. I think it's okay. Cleaning is okay. I don't think altering is okay, but I think cleaning is okay. Bargain Boxer says, in 10 years, nothing will be off limits to clean cards. We're getting closer and closer to that. But I think it's just because we have the internet, and we have social media. This has been going on for decades. It's nothing new. Biscuit's barking. It's nothing new. It's just now we're more prone to seeing it on social media, on YouTube. Steve says, if you're not wiping down cards before submitting selling, you're doing it wrong. And, yeah, I think probably every group subber has a service, a cleaning service. They'll remove smudges. They'll clean your card as a service for an extra $5 or whatever their price is. Brian says, restoring versus altering. So I thought that was an interesting topic, because at first when I read it, I'm like, I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with it. But then as I thought about it more, I'm like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with removing a smudge. I've got greasy fingerprints. There's nothing wrong with removing that from a Chrome card. But then when you start talking about trimming and altering, then all of a sudden it's a completely different conversation, and that's not right. Victor, what's up? Fine line and gray area for sure. Comes down to each individual's own convictions. What one thinks is wrong, others think it's not. There is no law against such things. Absolutely. I think there are laws against altering, though, because I think there's been some big time penalties and maybe prison time for some of the big cards that got trimmed and altered. Randy says, did we wipe down cards 10 years ago before submitting them? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 10 years ago was 2013. Definitely. You might not have, but there were people out there that did. Absolutely. 100%. Steve says, don't know if folks here are into comics. Want to go bananas. Check out what grading companies offer as a service. They offer a service to steam and press, then grade them. Wow. I did not know that. I'm not into comics or that space, so I was not aware. Victor is right. Some don't have any convictions against trimming. Canned ham. What about handling cards with a pair of jeweler's gloves on? Nothing wrong with that, unless, well, I don't know. I don't know what jeweler's gloves are, I guess. What's up, TD Sports Cards in the house? Ziggy took a call and came back to nothing. Ziggy, I had my TV on, and apparently MLB did not like that. YouTube was on to me. You've got baseball in the background. We don't want anybody watching our stuff. That's Major League Baseball. We want to make it as hard as possible. So I'll just have to put a screensaver up. So that's what I had for today. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me a second time. Hit the like button on this video, since this will count. The last one won't count. This Saturday is the Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Going to be a good one right before the National. So I know some people are wanting to buy inventory, and I talked about this in the last video. So if you're watching on replay, you didn't get to see my hour monologue and my thoughts on buying inventory for the upcoming National. My goal at this Saturday's Madison Card Show is to get a little extra cash, because I have some big plans for the National. So I'm looking forward to spending 5 days in Rosemont at the Donald Stevens Convention Center. By the way, Saturday we'll have a Hobby Evolution get-together at Shoeless Joe's, just down the street from the Stevens Convention Center. Just show up when you show up. Going to be after the show. I might be working on a deal at the end of Saturday's show. So it might be a little bit, but just show up at Shoeless Joe's on Saturday. So yeah, I'm getting a little extra cash because I have some plans for the National in terms of buying more inventory. So hopefully that all works out. Ziggy says, did you answer my question? Should grading companies provide a wipe and clean before they slab service? Yeah, I think they should, because most group subbers do. Most group subbers offer that wipe and clean service that, I think if Fanatics ran a grading company, they would start offering that service. But yeah, why not? And then I think Ziggy, I think that would be great, because then it removes all questions about what's okay and what's not okay. If a grading company actually did that. But then there's also, I can see both sides. You could persuade me either way. I don't have a strong opinion on this, because now as I talk it out and think it through, then you might, they cleaned it better for this guy than they did that guy. So I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't. You could talk me into it. You could talk me out of it. Steve's going to be in the VIP area at the Natty. Hope to meet folks. I may be there. I may not. I may just show up and wait in line for the 3:00 door opening. Not sure on that yet. Brian says the first card PSA graded was trimmed. It was. And it shouldn't have been. I mean, it should have. Trimming is not good. But that was what? When did PSA start grading cards? Like 1991? They've been around for a long time. And trimming was probably not, back then, probably wasn't as certainly talked about. Jason was in a stamp club in Florida, learned all about chemical treatment. I wouldn't advise, but it's common practice. Steve says, heck yeah, Shoeless Joe's on Saturday. I'm in. Bargain Boxer says, level of service for grading companies. Flawed Thinker says, if I owned a grading company, then I would gladly charge an extra $2 to wipe a card down. All about the Benjamins. Absolutely. It's like lost revenue at this point. I mean, every group, I shouldn't say every group, but I bet most group subbers offer this service. Victor says, to Ziggy's question, if it adds more time to the equation, I'm a no. And there you go. And it probably would. Because if you have to, then it's like, well, now it's in this queue and it's got to move from this queue to that queue. And it's probably gonna add some time to your wait on submitting. All right. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Again, thanks for sticking with me on video part 2. Again, if you're watching in replay, I did an hour until YouTube shut me off because I had my TV on in the background. They don't like that. So we'll have to put a screensaver up in the future. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. I don't think my eBay store is in the link to this because I just kind of did it real quick just to get back on the air. So have a great Monday. We'll do it all again tomorrow morning. I think we'll talk Fanatics events and what that could be in the card show space. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So have a good one. Oh, I wanted to also talk about 2023 Donruss. We'll talk about that tomorrow because I'm already 90 minutes in. It's 8:40. So I'm going to talk about 2023 Donruss tomorrow as well because I'm a big fan. So I want to share my thoughts on that. So have a great day. Enjoy your Monday. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central. Have a great day.